Hey guys, it's Will. Have you ever wondered why some investors seem to have an edge in this market, and while other investors seem to be always struggling? In this video, we're going to go over the edge that is the development of AI, an AI tool, not just AI, but that in itself, the development of AI is definitely a really big deal. How many of you guys have seen AI impact things for you at work? Have you seen AI impact things just talking with your family? Have you had any of those messages from someone you know where it seems a little bit AI? Or have you sent messages using AI? Or have you seen any of the AI video online recently? There's a ton of it. Now, AI is right in front of us, but it's also happening behind the scenes in some of the biggest markets in the world. And virtually every financial company today is using more AI in their analysis. Now, okay, how does that help you as an investor? Maybe you don't have a financial company, maybe you don't have a hedge fund. The same way that tools were uh, super hard to access years ago, like your phone camera. You used to have to pay thousands of dollars to shoot a movie. Now you can do it on your iPhone. Or the music, in order to put your music out there or publish something, now you just publish it on social media or what have you, and it can go viral or what have you. And that's exactly the same rules are applying to the financial world. A lot of the data, the tools, the things that you can use as an investor are now getting into the hands of you, the investor, and you can start using the same tools that the hedge funds are using, that the institutions are using. And you can start getting the same edge, if not create more of an edge, because now you don't have millions of dollars of operating costs to do what hedge funds do. And so let's jump into it. It sounds complicated, but what if I told you that it's actually super easy? Well, we're going to jump into it here. And today, I know it's a Wednesday here evening. We're jumping in, and I want to have an emphasis. I know everybody's got their Thanksgiving dinner coming up and all that. How many of you guys are excited? Or some of you guys don't celebrate that, but most of you do, because a lot of you guys are invested in markets in the United States. But hey, happy Thanksgiving, and let's jump into it. So this is analysis on how in one click you can put your analysis 100% on autopilot. You can sit back and let the machine uncover your first or next deal in the stock market for you. So for staying to the end, you get my trade profit calculator, optimized for mobile. And I think I can even send that over. I think we have that link. I can get that to you probably right here at the beginning. Maybe we could send that over, send that in the chat here and get that out as soon as possible. Maybe I can just go grab that for us all here, so you can get that profit calculator. Let's see. I can go grab it. Here it is. Just got to pull the link. I'm here in front of my computer here. Pretty simple. Good setup though. We're here in Buenos Aires. And so you can see the Buenos Aires city behind me. It's a nice, beautiful Puerto Madero, what they call it. And let me now drop the link for you. I'll give it to you right now. So any of you guys that want to grab that profit calculator, it's what we use in our live sessions a lot of times for calculating trades and being able to time our entries and exits. When you can't time it perfectly, the best thing is to have a plan. It works best on desktop. That link I sent you were kind of not fully optimized there for mobile on that thing I just sent, but there you go. You got it in the chat right now. But here's what we gotta consider about entries and exits. You might have a good plan, but you want to know why a stock's going up and why it's going down. And you don't want to feel like you're in the dark and you're just applying this mathematical strategy, but are you really investing in something that's going to grow? Are you investing in something that's poised for growth? Now, we've grown a YouTube channel here to over 30,000 people. And in the process, we've had some really good picks that have resulted in 10x plays. And in the process, we've also been able to build out a returning viewership of over 10,000 people per day. And I get messages all day on Instagram, here and there, on YouTube as well, and even some of the TikTok. I don't really read those as much, but we get testimonials all the time from people that have gains. Like there's Charles, $1,200 gain following the live trades over 2 weeks with using 5,000. We've also been able to meet some really cool people. We were able to meet Jack Selby when we were over there in Las Vegas. He was on the Graham Stephan co-host there. That was really cool. Got to fly out to go meet some other finance YouTubers. There's Ricky. That was a good one. And then we've done it without hyping stocks. That's the most important thing I think that I could take away from most people on YouTube, right? Is that you don't have to hype stocks. You don't have to. In fact, we've turned down over 100,000 from monthly promotional offers, and we've worked with Robinhood and all this stuff. But here, this is for you, the world debut of the machine. So the future of stock analysis is here. So this is kind of stock analysis as we know it. And I see a comment there from Michael. Michael says, did you at DLO fundamentals look great? See the record revenues and earnings. I didn't look at that one yet, but we'll take a look at it. Thank you so much, Michael. Stock analysis as we know it has been comprised of stock finding system that involves finding stocks, tracking them and monitoring them, building your watch list, kind of repeating this cycle. And the cycle for most investors that they struggle with, and I used to struggle with this a lot because it's not that it's a bad process, it's the right process, but that it takes so much time, which is building a list of valuable stocks, picking the stocks, checking the charts, checking the news, and also, knowing how to do those things, analyzing the financials, determining the opportunity, the margin for risk to the profit opportunity. Like these are things that can contribute to getting a good investment, right, in the stock market. Buying the stock and then refresh and repeat. And you do this, and I do this all the time. How many of you guys, you've gone through this process and you go through and you analyze the financials or the news, or maybe you don't, maybe you're just kind of like hearing about a stock, you invest in it. That's a process. But ultimately, you got to go through, this over and over, and it's a repetitive process if you're doing it right. And until now, analysis automation has been designed to focus just on finding stocks. It's easier to find stocks today. Maybe some of them aren't as quality, but what you'll see in this presentation today is a radical movement towards technology that is filling in the gaps beyond just finding the stocks and is 100% designed to help you stop re-researching. So it's a big common issue where you got to re-research. Or maybe you're not even to that point. Maybe you're researching and you just got to research in general. But for me, I struggle with like, oh man, something changed today. There was a tweet here. There was a news release here. There was a financial release here and I missed it. Like I didn't see it because I was, living my life, and I don't sit there and look at the SEC filings all day, And so over analyzing is one of the top investor mistakes, getting too caught up in the noise so much that they miss a key event or catalyst, which oftentimes leads to failure. Analyzing stocks normally takes technology plus the human skill. Now imagine if you could automate the technology and eliminate the human skill. What if you could get the software to do it all so you simply can wake up to deals? Wake up to this. The stock, its worth, its likely value over the next month, and it might look simple like on the left, but it's actually a full analysis. And I'll walk you through why that is. So what does the machine AI model actually do? The AI-driven models don't just pick stocks, it analyzes the markets with the precision of a Wall Street quant, the discipline of a billionaire investor, and the speed of a supercomputer, so you don't have to. Now, we've all seen the AI-driven conversation around how it's doing things like writing PhDs or writing research papers that are at PhD level. And this is the second piece, which is there's multi-layered analysis. So big picture and the details. So yes, we could scan the global markets, but what if you could have a technology that does that for you? It looks at the sector flows, the economic data. It dives deep into company fundamentals, revenue, growth, profitability, all that for you. You don't have to read endless reports, earnings calls, or news, and the model does the heavy lifting for you. So it can scan the global market trends, it can look into the fundamentals, the revenues, it can evaluate the company's growth and potential, where it's going, what's the likely pricing, and is it underpriced, is it overpriced? And then number 3, tracking the institutional money. So can you see that there are banks that are buying the company? If you look at a company and it's like way more sells than buys, then you're in a tough spot. Like you just don't invest in a company where you see like a lot of sells. You want to look at the institutional attracting value. See that big money is either accumulating or dumping shares, and being able to identify that will help you be able to make a better judgment a lot of times on stocks. So this tracks institutional money. So there's no more guessing if the pros are in or out, because our model watches the giants, so you don't have to. And then number 4, real-time signals and actionable alerts. I don't want to stand in front of my computer all day waiting for something to happen. I don't know about you guys, but this makes it easy. We're working on price breakouts, being able to spot technical patterns for you, and it's right here. And you get the right info at the right time without spending hours glued to your screen. And then number 5, the decision support. Sometimes making an investment just comes down to having the confidence. How many of you guys have been there? You know how when you're really eager to invest in a stock, and you think that everything's lining up, but you just don't hear from someone else that it's a good idea, so you don't touch it, and that you're like, I think it's good, but I just need to confirm my decision, and you don't make that decision, and then later on you look at the company, you say, oh man, I wish I would have bought that stock. This solves that. This gives you conviction to act without the analysis paralysis or the emotional bias. So you get world-class analysis. So in one click, you'll know why a stock is projected to go the direction it's going. And this all started because we've been noticing a trend. Technology is advancing and it's changing the game and making stock investing easier. Our journey towards building the machine started a year ago with one simple question. The question was, could we build an automated software that would find our StockMate users more stocks that end up as profitable deals than our users were finding on their own? Asking the question led to a StockMate research and development project and the birth of what we call the machine. And it was just the first step in creating the machine. So I'll explain everything. You guys ready? Is it okay? Can I share with you guys what this machine is all about? Comment the word future if you're ready to see the machine. We're on a few socials here. So I see future. We're on YouTube too. I'm not seeing it, but I know you guys can hear me. If you're there, you got your type it in. I want to see it. Let's get the future typed in here, because this is all about helping you get future tied into your growth. Let's think about the future in your investments. I see Pedro comes in with the future. And say it like you mean it too, guys. If you're thinking about what does the future look like? Where is your portfolio right now? Do you know some people, they don't have any idea where their portfolio is going? They see where their portfolio is at, but they don't have a goal of where they'd like their portfolio to be. And that's one of the main reasons that portfolios don't grow as fast as people would like. It's because it's not future driven. So we've done some research on the machine, and that question that we were asking about how can we find better stocks, that's what this presentation is all about. And how can we analyze them? And the first thing that we released here was the market view, and it was the ability to be able to see the different stocks and how they're connected so that you can see the level at which they are emerging in their markets. So the idea behind Mercatus Market View is pretty simple. Here's how it works. So this is very important. The new opportunities that the market view adds each time weren't just random stocks. They're based on a system that we use to do predictive analytics and motivation targeting to find stocks that were likely to grow in the segment of the market that you were already searching. So imagine the trail of opportunity that you can discover. So how did we do? The simple answer was great. We found that the market view stocks grew at a higher percentage than non-market view deals for average investors. And that showed us that we were on track and that we could move towards the next step in our R&D process. What's going on, Cheta? What's going on, Pedro and Michael? Good to see you guys here. And this brought us face to face with a much more difficult problem to solve. Instead of just getting more markets, we wanted to know if we could create a software that would produce a picture of markets and then expand on that picture on autopilot. So to do this, we needed the software to be smart enough to do things that traditionally required a ton of knowledge, years of experience, and skills to analyze the stocks. It needed to act like me. So promise me this, if you get nothing from my presentation here today, guys, from our time together, promise me that you'll get this one thing. Whether you're doing the analysis on your own or you're relying on the 100x YouTuber, the Redditor, the TikToker to do the analysis for you, you no longer need, understand, you no longer need to spend years learning every nuance of stock analysis and investing in order to succeed. And the reason that this is so powerful is because what's special about having the opportunity to use some of these tools that are coming out is that you give yourself the chance to do what you've wanted to do and achieve what you've wanted to achieve without having to have such a massive underlying work that has to go into it. And it's not like you're skipping out, right? It's not like this, okay, it's a get rich quick type of thing. No, it's like if you are using coding today, AI can code for you, for example. And you don't have to know everything about coding that you used to have to know in order to succeed. And so we created a software that combined my 10 plus years of stock investing experience with an open perspective to all the newest and most powerful AI models in the world to do all of the right things for you, whether you know to do them or not. So that brings us to number 2. And what's going on, Scott? Good to see you here. Good to have you here, Scott. The future of stock analysis automation. So the idea is that you get profitable stocks added to your watch list, buy them while they're undervalued, virtually on the go, for a hefty payday each and every month. This is what most investors have. But the problem is most investors might invest about $5,000 into the S&P 500. And then a year goes by and they have an 8% return and they've made $400 at $5,400. We're all going to make $1 million in our lifetime. But some people make $1 million by working for $40,000 a year for 40 years. And some people make $1 million by compounding their wealth and growing it very quickly in a smaller amount of time. And I've been fortunate enough to discover certain stocks. Like, for example, Nvidia. It's a stock I discovered fairly early. Started averaging in. In fact, I was making about $16 an hour years ago. I was working through winters on icy roofs in my local town without probably the right safety equipment that I needed, because I needed to work installing what was solar. And I remember doing this, and while I was doing it, I was thinking, I'm not going to be able to do this. I can't believe people do this forever. And I get it. I grew up with it. My parents worked it. My dad works in blue collar, and we were always building houses and all these things. And I was like, this is really good skill, but I don't want to do this my whole life. That's what I was thinking. And so I'm like, how can I get out of this? And I learned, and I started investing in Nvidia, for example, for $20 a day. It was just $20 a day. And rather than getting an 8% return or growing that wealth by 8%, we ended up having a return of over 1,800% over 5 years. Now, rather than getting $400 or whatever that would be times 5 or 6 or 7, we ended up with $29,000. And so this works trading with 20 minutes or less a day, or longer term auto investing per day. But the key is that you focus on the right markets and you put yourself in the position to be able to identify the value at the right times. And there's a screenshot there from my phone. Actually, you can see our $13.26 average there on Nvidia. Now, I don't say this to brag or anything, but hey, that's not bad, right? And the reason why I share it with you is because I didn't know what I was doing. And then after I started working for an institution in Boulder, and then I actually learned finance, I was like, oh man, that was actually the way. And that's the way to get started. And it's just so happened that we learned some of the shorter term and some of the more advanced stuff. But by tracking stocks from the market view that we created all the way through to complete analysis, here's the thing. Even if you made 58% returns with the market, you still get to beat the market investing in the right stocks at the right time. And so the market's changing. Even Warren Buffett, what do they say? Don't do what they say, do what they do. Watch what they do. Isn't that the thing, right? And I'm not going to quote something cheesy here, but when Warren Buffett invests in individual stocks but tells you to buy an index fund, to me, I was like, I heard that quote and I was like, I'm going to watch what they do. Oh, they're investing in individual stocks, seeing outsized returns. And then he's saying buy index funds, but he's an individual stock investor. And then I read the book, The Intelligent Investor, you get an idea. So this is really key. This is actually really important to watch, because most people, in general, the message to 95% of people is just put it in the S&P and the index. And that's a fine strategy for just tucking money away. But if you want to really create wealth, you got to learn the individual stock game. So I've been able to do this. Now, there was no fancy indicator, no big news catalyst, no complicated analysis strategy. Just a stock with an undervalued status. And I identified that before buying, and a proven strategy to generate a return. Now, just a little on the personal side, some of you guys are just tuning in. Some of you guys have been on the YouTube for a while. And in fact, I remember I was doing one of these presentations, and my wife Tammy said, you should tell people what you do, because they'll probably understand why you're sharing it. I'm like, yeah, because it's changed our life. And so we live near Tahoe, as I mentioned, right now in Buenos Aires right now. But yeah, I'm just outside Silicon Valley is where I live, and we love to travel. We love to enjoy different foods, things like that. I share that with you so you can kind of see what our day-to-day looks like. A lot of these pictures was taken before we even started our YouTube channel. Actually, about 90% of them, all of them. Every photo here, no, except for the food on the left there, was taken before we started the YouTube channel at this time last year. So stock analysis is coming. And AI automation is here. Flip the switch, let the system run, and wake up to deals. Let's move from find stocks and show you how the machine gets you deals on autopilot. Okay. So here's how it works. If you want to analyze a stock, you can use ChatGPT. Some of you guys have used it. How many of you guys have used ChatGPT? Or how about this? You can use ChatGPT or Grok or Google Gemini or DeepSeek or Claude. Which AI model have you guys used? Comment in the chat. What AI models have you used to analyze companies? And some of you guys might have not analyzed companies, but that's okay. That's totally fine if you've never done it before. But here's the problem with what I see is that every single, this is what I wanted to solve. This is why this exists. This is why I'm here right now in front of you, is because I was getting confused. One day, my tech friend that works at Rocket Lab is telling me buy the pro version of ChatGPT. So I'm saying, okay, let me buy it. And then the next day, I'm getting a text from another friend who works at a real estate company who says, "Oh, you got to check out this Claude for doing analysis on deals." And then I get another message on Instagram from one of you guys, and you're saying, "Oh, yeah, Google's Gemini is the best AI model. You got to check it out for doing that." And I'm sitting here and I'm like, "Wait a second. So not only are these companies adding a new model every week, sometimes every day, but there's other companies that are doing it better than other companies, and I'm not using the best one because I'm over here and I need to have this one. And by the time I switch over there, which I started doing, and then it wasn't good enough because a new model came out. And it felt like the idea of when phones used to have buttons on them. Francis says ChatGPT 5. Chetta says Gemini. Z says Gemini. Okay, so there's even some different models there. And so somebody's like, yeah, I'm hooking it up and I made it so I can use Grok for this. And I'm like, okay, but did you know this model's actually better? And then this. And it's like when they shipped the BlackBerry and they had buttons on the phone. And it's like they ship the phone out. But then what happens when there's a new application that you want to use and the buttons don't quite work for that application, for how you want to navigate, and then it becomes difficult. And then all these companies were coming out with these different phones and they have to update the buttons. That used to be a thing, right? And then what happened? The touch screen came out. And so this is the touch screen. Let's get into it. What if you could have all these models in one place? Well, introducing the machine. So this is the machine. Let me show you how I use the machine. So essentially, we built this so that you can get future charts on any stock you want, your favorite models, and have all of the models in one place. And so this machine was designed to give you all the AI models in one place with the best data. And so as you can see, I'm on a search bar. I can search any asset I want. I can talk to this and I can click which model I want to use. So I can use Grok. Okay. So Grok is really good because it's got what's going on Gemini, or not on Gemini, on it probably knows what's going on Gemini, but on X, right? On Twitter. Grok knows what's happening there. That's actually really good for investing. How many of you guys have ever heard that there are investors that simply trade tweets? How many of you guys have heard that? That's a real thing. So Grok is really good for the shorter term trading. Then you got OpenAI. OpenAI is good for institutional grade. Claude, thoughtful analysis. And we use the newest models that are available from these companies. And we also have Gemini here, the latest models with Google's multi-model AI and search engine that is considered for the analysis. And so we could pick a model here. Which model should we pick? I see some people, Francisco says ChatGPT 5. Ryan says that he uses Claude. Let's see. Chetta says Gemini and Z says Gemini. What model should we select right now to kick things off and start analyzing our stocks and start getting some projections? Which model should we use? We can use any of these models. And I personally, I'm just going to use, I think I should use Claude or Grok or Gemini. I'm going to use Gemini. Gemini has been really fun lately, and I see some comments there on Gemini. So Gemini is the one. I'm popping in. So you notice I got it selected, and I can pull up a stock here. So what stock do we want to search up? This is the next step. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to search. This is really exciting. So let's jump in with what stock did we cover today that was really interesting? Serve Robotics. Let's cover Serve Robotics. I can search Serve Robotics. I can type the ticker symbol. It will recognize it. So here we go. We got a few things happening here, right? On this right now, it's skimming the press releases. It's looking at the charts. It's looking at the SEC data. And Francisco says, I don't have models, only technical. Yeah, so we look at the SEC data, we look at the news, and some of these models, the other problem is there's a lot of new ones, but did you know that unless you have the most premium version, a lot of them aren't real time. So you got to hook them up. And so we've hooked up these models to infuse data into them. And so take a look at this. I just got this future chart. I have a projection on this module here on the left on Serve Robotics. You can see it's up about 4% today to $10. And we can actually see some of the projections from Gemini. And so with Gemini's model selected here, we just got in a very short amount of time the ability to get a projection. And so it's anticipating about 2.8% over the next month or 3% over the next month. And then it's telling me why. It's saying, the 50-week moving average is at $9.50, which is acting as a dynamic support level, it says. The MACD is showing potential bullish crossover below that zero line, and which could signal a shift in momentum. Now, we also give it some really good data. We give it all of the news, and I can pull up what are called widgets onto this page. So what you'll notice right now is I have this projection. I can look at the next month. I can look at the next 6 months, look at that projection. I can look at the next 4 hours, okay, a little bit bearish on the 4 hours. And here's the thing. When it's analyzing, when we run the data through these AI models, whether it's Grok or OpenAI, Claude, or Gemini, we actually have engineered it to consider different analysis for different time frames. You guys know this. If you've ever seen us trade live or you've seen our shorter term setups, we're not going to be looking at the 1 year candlestick and the charts and the 200-day moving average. We're going to be looking at the 5-minute candlestick, the 15-minute candlestick. And so on the 4-hour time frame, that's what's being considered in the analysis. On the 1 hour time frame, that's how it's considering it. It's considering different news articles for the next day than it considers for the next 6 months. You might have a car explode today from one of the popular manufacturers of electric cars or something like that today, and the stock goes down because the technology showed a failure or malfunction today. But we know that they're building a gigafactory and they're going to have a lot of growth over the next 6 months. So there's articles that impact the next projections differently than you could do if you were just throwing it all like spaghetti, if you were using the models without the extra data that we give it. And so here's the other thing. You might notice that we use the best models in the world for analyzing any stocks that we want. But while that saves you a lot of time, there's also, levels to this stuff. I can get the projections, but I can use other tools here to get me better ideas of where the best entries and where the best exits are. So simply put, if I wanted to drop in a support and resistance, I can drop in a support and resistance. I can see where the nearest support level is. It says it's right here at $10 a share. When looking at the next 6 months, the nearest support is at $10 a share. And I can see where the good entries are. I can see where the resistance levels are at. I can also drop in things like fundamental analysis or news widgets and see all of the company news or what's going on in the company right now. Okay? I can drop in things like earnings if I want, or I could drop in a Taylor and see all of the models at once. So let's see what's going on here. Let me hit it with a refresh. I might have pressed a button off screen here. Let's see here. Let's get it to refresh. There we are. Let's get it pulled back up. What was the stock we were just looking at? It was Serve Robotics. There we go. Serve, and here we are. So I was just using top transactors. I could see the insider buying and selling, and then get the AI to tell me what it thinks about the buying and selling. Is it good right now? Is it bad? How does it look on the insider side? Grok will do the analysis, or Gemini will do the analysis for me, so I can actually see that right away. Okay? And then we also have something called Taylor. And so Taylor, essentially what Taylor is it allows you to see all of the different AIs at once. And so I'm noticing a slight, maybe it's this demo curse, I'm not really sure. Things taking a second here. Let's see if we can get it to spin up here. Let's see if we get it to work here. Usually it works perfectly. We just added a new update in the last day, and we're always adding new things. But here's the thing is, we're giving you the best AIs, and we're also, I want to give you quantum analysis. So quantum analysis doesn't exist in the world right now. There's nowhere right now on Earth where you can run a quantum computer and do quantum analysis with your with a quantum computer. And so when it comes to the setup of how we like to use it, for example, like let's say I'm doing an analysis here. If I wanted to, I could use a quantum computer if I wanted to. Okay, so let's say that I have Apple stock pulled up here, and this is more like on the demo side here. Let me see if I can pull up some data for you to see. Here we are. And if I wanted to, and this is kind of the way that it's working right now, it's giving me a little bit of a tough time. Let me see if the refresh can work here. It's called the demo curse. It happens every once in a while. I just have some iffy internet as well. Hopefully you guys can hear me as well. Here we are. Okay. So we had Serve Robotics pulled up here. And the other thing we added is quantum analysis. So select a quantum backend. I could select Rigetti or IonQ. That's what we have added. We haven't added D-Wave yet, but we plan to. If I click on Rigetti, I'm getting this, it looks like the 1 hour is the most confident. So it gives me the confidence score. After running the analysis through Grok or through Gemini or what have you, we've now been able to run it through a quantum backend to get an enhanced analysis and see what Rigetti thinks about the data. See if IonQ also seems to be looking at the next hour as the most confident. And so that helps us to determine where the weight is in the confidence from all of the different time frames. And what contributes to that? It's a quantum algorithm. And so as we continue to develop new tools like the top transactors, the future chart, and being able to see projections for the next hour, the next week, the next month, or what have you, you can see there's even a dip anticipation and then a support level, and it's looking bullish. We wanted to give you the best of the best. So right now, that's just one of the many features that we have is the future chart, the Grok analysis. We also have some other features we've recently added, like building your watch list with AI. What if you could tell AI here, I can generate a watch list and I can say, let's say, give me stocks that are mineral stocks or nuclear stocks have been really interesting right now. And it's going to actually build that watch list for me with AI. And now I'm not being very specific here, right? But I did just get a list here of nuclear energy stocks that I can add to my watch list, and boom, they've already loaded up onto my watch list. I've added AI companies to go do analysis of. And I can click through, I can click on a company here like this NEE, and I can select my AI model here, and I can click Claude, and then boom, I can get the analysis loading up. It's going to look through the financials, it's going to look through the relativity of the different time frames and only verifiable sources and press releases, and it's getting me that analysis. While that's happening, I could go pull up the news hub and see what's going on in the news, or I can go pull up the support and resistance here and see where the nearest support levels are on this stock. Let's see if I can get a refresh here. NEE. Set not functioning fully. There we go. And you can see the resistance levels and the support levels. So this is just how I use it, and I'm designing it for the investors that understand and the investors that don't understand. And so there's some bearish projections we could go into. Why are the bearish projections bearish on this company? We could actually go look at it. We could go see what the contributing factors are. Nuclear is probably a little bit far away, maybe, is what's going on. And so as we're seeing, the levels kind of going over here on this stock, and we pulled up that, there's a lot of things to go through in a very short amount of time. But do you see the power of the system? I just got full streamed analysis in a matter of minutes. So that was super easy for me to do. I didn't have to spend hours researching the stocks to get a full picture of where the levels are and where it's projected to go. So let's keep it going. So as you kind of see what the power of the system looks like. If you want to use all the models in one place, this is for you. And how we apply this. In StockMate, for example, we don't chase perfection. We build repeatable processes and plans, and we use clear entries and exits instead of guessing. And the profit calculator makes sure that your risk and reward is always in your favor. And here's the thing, when you learn how to invest and trade, You're not worried about being right every single time. So there are things like the truth about predictions is you don't need to be right every single time, but you do have to have a focus and you need to have an idea of what is contributing to the stock's growth. And so by following a plan alongside this, managing risk, using tools like StockMate or the profit calculator, you build that confidence to trade with clarity. And over time, that confidence compounds into results. And that's how you win in the market. So you get to flip a switch and wake up to deals. So automation number one, refresh your analysis daily. If you're in stocks, you want something that guarantees a pipeline of emerging stocks and can do that research for you. And then automation number two, analyzes and auto deep dives for you. So this guarantees speed with real-time analysis. Automation number three, automatically access powerful AI. Let the system find short and long-term stocks for you. And then automation number four, analyze deals and project prices. No need to run the financials, the news, or the chart analysis because the system does it all for you. And then automation number five, uncover valuable companies. Accurate analysis with real value. So the future of stock analysis automation is finally here. And I want to invite you to become a beta tester of the machine. If you become a beta tester today, you will use the system, or will you use the system, provide us with feedback, good and bad, and help my team and me change the way that profitable stocks get found? If you answered yes, I want to invite you, number one, to become a beta tester, and number two, to join my team and me for a training day and setup to launch your machine. So as a beta tester, I want you to flip the switch, and with our help as we move the machine from beta to full production for portfolios, work with us to provide feedback, insights, and results. So we'll run this similarly to how we ran the beta release of the market network, which I kind of showed you. But the market network, actually, without getting too, back into the Mercatus setup and showing you the machine, the network basically shows the different stocks, okay? And it shows you different companies. And you can see the different companies, you can see how they're connected. And the idea is for you to be able to click through and see the Palantir and the C3.ai connection, or for you to click through and see the Big Bear and the Palantir connection, or the Quantum, IonQ with IBM, or the different connections. And so we're working on a 3D view for you to be able to see those emerging markets. And that's, again, inside of the app, which we didn't really touch on, but that's kind of how it looks, right? So there we are. We'll run this similarly to how we ran the beta release of the market network. We'll guide you through the setup, and as we make improvements, updates, and launch new integrations, we'll unlock everything for you for free. So we ran a late Independence Day and summer sale to lock in future updates. But we're actually limiting the number of beta testers, and what we're doing right now is we're running in with what is the Black Friday offer. And we're limiting the number of beta testers we allow in this group. The bottom line is my team is going to treat this beta test group with white gloves. Every new machine member I personally have talked to, there's not one machine member that I haven't given a call. And our team really cares about the success. I have a developer here right in Buenos Aires with me right now, one of our developers, and he cares so much. He works in a carniceria with his family because that's what they do here in Argentina. And he gets after work and before work, he's working at our company. And he's actually staying here in the same building that I'm in right now. We got a place for him while we're here, my wife and I, because she's from Argentina as well. And he's working. Then we got Ryan. He's a top developer, and he works with some of the most innovative companies, and he's also been known to have uh, been a developer at some major connections in the government. And he's an amazing world-class developer. And we have things in our community where we're seeing like all the reports from every user, what they're finding, what they want, what they're lacking, what they'd like to see more of. And we're implementing new features every single day. We're making your experience better every day. And so it's a white glove experience. So you're going to feel like a king or a queen because we're going to see to your success. The reality is, government is clear that I can't make promises of success or financial reward. And well, this is stock investing. I've been around long enough to know nothing is guaranteed. And everything worthwhile takes some commitment and work. But it's our goal here to do everything we can to give you the power to create a profitable portfolio. There is no difference here as well that I don't know you. I don't know whether you'll put in the work with my team to get up and running or not. So I can't say whether you'll make money or not, and you could even lose money. But here's what I do know. We've put my 10 plus years worth of knowledge, experience, and skill into the tools that make up the machine. And we've paired it with the best models in the world. So if you want this future of stock analysis in your hands, my 10 plus years built into the software and our team to help guide you towards success, watching this presentation today and joining me as a beta tester for the world debut of Mercatus, the machine, could be the most important thing you do all year. So you're probably wondering what it takes to become a beta tester and work with my team, and you're probably expecting the investment to be pretty high and maybe outside of your comfort zone. Well, the good news is, first of all, it's Black Friday. Second of all, well, Black Friday's coming up. Second of all, because I want beta testers who are committed to action, there is what I call a commitment deposit. So I know you're serious, but what I'm going to ask you today is just a fraction of what you're probably expecting. So over the past couple of months, we've slowly been releasing these tools and technology and products that make up the automations of the machine. Individually, if you were to have invested in everything as it was released, you would have invested in your portfolio between $6,000 to $9,000. Now, the good news is we know that we ultimately planned to release the machine as a fully integrated analysis system. So what we did as we released other technologies is we always bundled them together with tools, bonuses, and other products to keep your investments low. That way, no one has ever had to pay the full $9,000 to unlock the individual components and automations that we're bundling together in the machine here today. And even if you've invested in one or another of the automations we've released over this year, you'll see that the full integration of the machine that I'm sharing with you right now makes becoming a beta tester today a complete no-brainer. I've never offered a fully integrated package for anywhere near what I've convinced my team to let me offer you here today. And I've been offered some crazy big numbers to only make a few small handful of the machine features available in each market, only to high-level investors that could afford it. So individual investors that want this machine built for themselves. And that's not my goal. It's not my goal to lock you out, price everything super high, keep the machine technology for only myself and my successful buddies and top stock investors that are just in good markets. My goal is to change the way that investors invest and find stocks and how they make returns by making it faster, easier, and better. So our goal is to create the best and most simple system for finding deals that anyone has ever experienced. That's why when people told me that I should charge a setup fee between $3,000, $5,000, and as high as $1,000 a month to run the machine in just one market, I knew that I was onto something and that I was going to be able to positively impact the success of both new and experienced stock investors alike. That's why I've decided to release this beta test version of the machine today. And when you unlock the machine today, I'm going to waive the $5,000 setup fee. That's free. That's now zero. And I'm going to slash the monthly fees to zero and just roll everything into your new or existing Mercatus account. And just start a new or keep your existing subscription today, and I'll unlock the machine for you instantly. So that brings me to your small beta tester commitment deposit and your investment today. You won't pay $9,000 like you could if you unlocked everything separately. You won't pay $6,000 or even $3,000. I've slashed the setup fee to zero and waived the monthly fee with your StockMate account. Your commitment deposit today isn't $2,500. It's not even $2,000. Today, you becoming a beta tester will allow you to join in on the machine. Let me and my team coach you through the entire setup and implementation. The Black Friday sale, you get to unlock the Mercatus machine today for just one payment of $14.97. So let's take a look at what you get. The Black Friday sale is here for the next 20 fast action takers, and there are some bonuses that you get when you're a part of the Black Friday sale. So all you have to do to take action is to go to the link in the description below. So as I mentioned, we got limited spots because we are white glove working with you. Next 20 fast action takers, here's what you got. Bonus number one, you get StockMate lifetime access. So along with the next year of access to the system here, you also get a bonus of the StockMate daily live trading sessions that we have Monday through Friday. So Monday through Friday at market open every day, I go live because I've been doing it and it's what I love to do. I've been doing it for years. And you get to see our daily live trading right at market open. So 6:30 a.m. Pacific time, 9:30 Eastern time in the morning. I'm there Monday through Friday. You can see my entries, see my exits, and you get it as a bonus for free when you unlock the machine today. Bonus number two. Not only do you get StockMate, and in StockMate, real quick, you do get to surround yourself with like-minded individuals. There's also targets that come out each week. There's a community along with the live sessions that looks something like this. I don't know how it looks on the screen if it's sharing it correctly. There you go. It looks like this. You get targets for the upcoming week if we release them. There's 28 individuals here that are verified as millionaires. And we have an event. We have events, but we have daily live trading session happening tomorrow morning. You get all of that in StockMate. It's a bonus. Now, back to aside from that, you get some books and you get some learning materials as well. But here's what you get for bonus number two. So in your Mercatus accounts, you're going to be searching a lot of stocks. You're going to be searching a new stock probably every day. We have our users logging in, and when they sign up, they log in and they use our software every day. And so if you're going to be using it every day, you're going to want a lot of generations. And so what we've included here, Mercatus account upgrade, it's a data upgrade. You get 25,000 stock analyzations per month. Now, look, if you're analyzing one stock, you might use 4 analyzations because you might use it for all of the models at once to see all the models. And so that could add up, but you're getting 25,000 stock analyzations a month. I can't do it because I don't want to reveal too much information, or maybe I can show what that looks like, but if I don't want to share any sensitive information. But if I go click on, for example, like our grok here, I don't know if this is something I should really do. I don't want to share anybody's info. Okay, we're not. Cool. But you can just see in the last week, We had 7,500 requests on just Grok alone. That's not even on Gemini. That's not even from investors. And right now, we have under 100 investors using the software. So investors are using this like crazy. Like we have daily logins. If I go back monthly and we take a look from when we just started launching this in the last 3 months, you could see the growth. You see this? The requests that are happening monthly, we're up to 29,000 requests from all of our users in November using Grok. And so I'm not just saying like, hey, a lot of investors are using it. The ones that are in there are signing in every day. And when I'm sharing this too, one thing to realize is, you're getting 25,000 stock analyzation. That's a little bit less than all of our users used for the whole year. So again, if you're ready with bonus number 2 alone for the next year, you're locking in that many analyzations per month. You can go to the link in the description, go unlock your access, and I'll see you in our live sessions on Friday. But you also get the Black Friday deal because you're getting bonus number 3, unlimited AI models. You're getting 1 year use license. So this is an annual subscription, right? So if something changes in the next year, you let us know. But you're getting unlimited use to new AI models. Right now, we have OpenAI's best model along with the new Gemini model and Grok from Twitter, X, and then we have Claude. But we're also in the process of adding DeepSeek and Meta. And we're going to have more models throughout the week or throughout the towards the end of this year. So you get a 1 year license. It's a real world value of $2,997. Why is that? If you want to go get the models on your own, you can, but it's about $297 a month for the Grok Pro model, the heavy. It's about $249 for Gemini, Google, and then it's $200 a month for ChatGPT's premium model. I haven't looked at Claude. I think it's over 100, and I think it's 149. So those alone are like 400. Those alone are over $500 a month. I think around like $800 a month. And you're getting all the models for the latest and greatest that are available that we're providing for your analysis. You can even chat with the models. You can do multi-model analysis of one stock or asset. 1 year license. So that's why the value is so great. And then finally, this isn't actually the last bonus because I forgot it's Black Friday. We have another bonus, which is the virtual stock trading system. Now, I'm actually going to get into bonus number 5 first. Bonus number 5 is that you get team tickets to the machine launch and the setup and implementation training day. So you know how I said we're going to help you launch your machine? Well, you get our training days. We hold these every Thursday, and we have a Zoom call with the team or with everybody, all the investors that use the machine and the team. And so this is where we get your feedback. This is where we give you the training, get you set up and logged in and implementing it right now in your portfolio. And every Thursday we do it. This Thursday, it's going to be a replay because it's Thanksgiving tomorrow. So we'll not have this Thursday, but we'll have a replay for you this week. In fact, we're going to be doing a live session, but it's going to be on Friday. So it's not the normal day, and a lot of people will probably miss it because it's kind of a strange time this week with the holidays. But normally, every Thursday, you get this access. You can bring a member along if you have another team member that invests with you or something. Set up an implementation training day. And then that bonus number 4, virtual stock trading system. You get access to 6 weeks of Zoom classes that we did in the summer, where we went over entries and exits and what does that look like. If I could pull up the learning materials somewhere around here, it looks like this. You get all these recordings. Happened in the past. When it sold for about $1,300. It was 6 modules, 6 weeks of training. And so we go over things like finding emerging markets, and you also get access to entries and exits, which is a good one. Get to see, how do we time or how do we recognize our entries and exits? And they're You could see some investors. There's a bunch of investors there that were tuned in. So finally, when we're looking at bonus number 4, I don't know how that looked when I was sharing my screen there. Did it look okay? You guys were able to see this was the training here, and there's 6 weeks basically. It's about 30 minutes with 30 minutes per module with about 30 to 45 minutes of Q&As on each session. And let's see here. There we go. And so that's bonus number 5 is the implementation training day. So you get all the bonuses, all of that included. And the bonuses today are worth over $10,000, right? You get lifetime access to StockMate, unlimited, or 25,000 stock analyzations per month, along with unlimited AI models in your 1-year license, virtual stock trading system, and you get to attend the machine launch and setup days every Thursday. That's a real world value of $1,997. It's yours free as a bonus here. In Black Friday, all you have to do is go to the link in the description of this video. Click the link, it will take you there. You get all of the bonuses there, and they're included. And then finally, some of you guys are on the fence and you're saying, well, Will, I don't know. I'm almost at the point where I want to use AI. I'm not really sure. First of all, this isn't supposed to make it more complicated. This is going to make it more simple for you. And some of you guys say, well, Will, I'm just not that good at computers. That implementation training day might be enough, but I don't know if I'm going to use the machine if I don't do that implementation training day. And here's what I'll tell you. That's exactly why you should do it, because what you think is a complication for you is actually, it's going to make it more simple for you to invest, and you'll end up spending way less time. And then finally, if you guys don't know my sincerity by now, we have a 30-day no hassle money back guarantee. The only condition is that you have to prove that you didn't earn more than $500 as a result of using the machine. You just have to send a screenshot so you did not earn more than $5,000 or $500 in your portfolio, and that you can verify that you didn't earn positive $500. And if you did not, then you're still valid. Now, here's the thing. People come back, they say, Will, I can't get the money back guarantee. And they're smiling and they're telling me, and I'm glad that I can't because I love this thing and I'll keep using it. And the reason they can't get the guarantee, it's because they made more than $500 and they're making money with it. So if you're using it, you're making money with it. Obviously, you've been using it. We're not going to do the guarantee. If you just prove to me that you didn't earn money with it, you get 30-day no hassle money back guarantee. No questions asked with that, other than the, verification that you didn't make money. That's it. So you get access. I would love to see you guys there as soon as Friday. You get our StockMate live sessions, but also our training day next Thursday and this Friday for the implementation day. So again, just to review, you get the 1-year license, you get complete access, and it's for all the models, unlimited models, and you can use them up to 25,000 times a month, which we have not had a user yet use that many. And we have users that use it every single day. And you get access with the link in the description down below. So all you got to do, click the link. Some of you guys might look back from now a month and you might say, I wonder, you might not think about it. A year, you might say, I'm not really thinking about it. But then 2 years, 5 years from now, you might say, oh man, that thing that Will brought up with the AIs, now I'm seeing AI investing for people, and that company's like that, and it's not in beta anymore, and here's how much it costs, or what have you. And you might say, man, I wonder what would have happened if I just would have gone all in with Will, just would have given it a shot. And I'm telling you, you don't have to wait. I would love to see you there in our training day and get you access in the machine and get you using the best AI tools in the world, speed up your analysis, and give you the cutting edge that you need in today's market to stay up to date on the companies. They're moving fast. You don't have to miss it. It's in the link below. And I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you guys have a great rest of your Wednesday, and I'll see you in the next one. Any questions, actually, before we wrap up? Any questions? Let's see. Got some happy Thanksgiving for Stockmates. Pedro says, husband and we are very interested. Oh, love it. Okay. And you already have Stockmate lifetime access. Okay, Pedro, you could send me a message, and we have an offer specifically for Stockmate users. So if you're already in Stockmate, right? Because Stockmate's a bonus you get here. Then you can send me an email. I'll send you my email there in the chat. You can also send me a message in Stockmate if you're there. You know how to do that. But or you can send me a text. You've received a text from me before. There you go. Pedro, you got my email there. Awesome. Cool, guys. All right, Michael says, Will, did you look at D-Lo since I asked you? Michael, you asked me at the beginning of this video, and I said, yeah, I'll take a look at that one. And now you're asking me at the end of the video. No, I did not take a look yet, Michael, but I appreciate it, man. We'll take a look. Banda, of course. Yeah, of course. Just sent over the email there. And I'll send you a message with that offer. But yeah, so all you have to do to claim it, guys, to go and get the complete machine and start using it right now and join us in our training day on Thursdays, is the link in the description. Go now, and I'll see you there on the other side. Appreciate you all. Thanks so much for tuning in.